11 months of detailed, fearless sports coverage, from football and rugby to athletics, boxing and swimming, name it. Sporty Monday has been there. From the grassroots to the global stage, from every corner of the country to world capitals, we have brought you the stories that mattered when they mattered. When records were broken, we were there to capture the moment. When the lows hit, we did not look away. We told you the full story, the triumphs and pain, even when it would have been convenient to hide our heads in the sand. Painful chapters like the 8-0 drubbing by Senegal were never easy to tell, but journalism demands honesty, courage, and commitment, and that is a promise we kept. Our quickfire segments sparked debates, engaged opinion leaders, and challenged policymakers, opening up the inner workings of sport and holding the system to account. And so today, Sporty Monday folds its calendar on sports coverage for the year 2025 as the crew retreats to recharge, ready for a new year, a new season, and new possibilities. We take one final lap around the sporting world. From Luanda, Angola, where the African Youth Games are ongoing, Stanley Mativo brings us the latest. Then on to England, where Ziti Jimoi has a special package unpacking the intrigues, thrills, and spills that have defined the title race so far. Back home, we head to the Nyayo National Stadium to break down the volleyball league that has just served off, and to Kwale County, where grassroots teams are sweating it out, or rather, battled it out in the Rashid Abdallah Super Cup. This is the final episode of Sporty Monday, year 2025. I'm your host, Isaac Swilatijan. Welcome to the program, joined by my panelists, Ziti Jimoi, Kevin Otenga, and, of course, Pastor Godfrey Asheli, making his bow into the program. And, of course, before you hear from my panelists, the question of the day. Today we ask you, what are your thoughts on the naming of Talanta Stadium to Raila Odinga International Stadium? What are your thoughts on the renaming of Talanta Sports City Stadium to Raila Odinga International Stadium? Of course, we want to hear your thoughts, so you can access at Citizen TV Kenya, at Isaac Swila, at Ziti Jimoi, at Kevin Otenga. We are also on Facebook, where we've posted that question. You can interact with it. And of course, we are going to sample some of your thoughts during and at the tail end of this program. So keep your thoughts coming. And of course, we will be sampling them during this program. Now, on to our top story, which is the Raila Odinga. The brand new Talanta Stadium, currently under construction, is set to be renamed Raila Amolo Odinga International Stadium upon completion. The decision follows approval by President William Ruto to rename the country's newest international stadium facility from Talanta to Raila Odinga Stadium in honor of the legacy of the fallen former Prime Minister. This actually came to the fore when the country marked the 62nd Jamhuri Day that went down on Friday here in Nairobi. Seth Olale puts that story into perspective.
The proposal to rename the brand new Talanta Stadium to Raila Amolo Odinga International Stadium was made by Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja during the 62nd Jamhuri Day celebrations at the Nyayo Stadium, Nairobi County.
Uwanja huo uite Raila Odinga International Stadium ili kumkumbuka baba wetu ambaye alituacha.
The party chairs and the secretary generals to join in.
Responding to Sakaja's remarks, President William Ruto started by leading the masses into eulogizing the former Prime Minister by observing a minute of silence in honor of the fallen legend.
Tafadhali na waomba tusimame kwa dakika moja kwa heshima ya kiongozi wetu Raila Amolo Odinga.
The head of state picking the cue from Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja.
Amempatia Mariga. McDonald Mariga na mpira shoot. Lakini goalkeeper Mama Anu Waiguru amenasa mpira bila wasiwasi.
Voicing his approving for the proposal to rename the iconic Talanta Stadium to Raila Amolo Odinga International Stadium amidst cheers from the crowd.
Mumesema ipatiwe jina la Raila Amolo Odinga International Stadium. Nimewasikiza na tukikamilisha tutafanya hivyo.
Nilisikia mtukufu rais kama naongea mambo na stadia. Nimekubali. Tena nimekubali. Ni ukweli na tena nimefurahi akikumbuka hiyo.
Raila Amolo Odinga is a hero. Na is a hero si ya Wajaluo, si ya Wakenya. Dunia mzima, East and Central.
In eulogizing the late Raila, Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama, who was the special guest at the celebrations, acknowledged the sacrifice and commitment from the former premier in advocating for human rights and good governance. It was on 17th October at this specific venue where Kenyans turned up in large numbers to pay their tributes to their fallen hero, the former Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, through a state funeral. It is also at this particular venue where President William Ruto led Kenyans in eulogizing and celebrating the achievements of the fallen legend. Seth Olale, Citizen TV at the Neo National Stadium, Nairobi County.
Our very own Seth Olale reporting from the Nyayo National Stadium. That's last Friday, and of course that story forms the basis of our question of the day, where we are asking you, what are your thoughts on the renaming of the Talanta Sports City Stadium to Raila Odinga International Stadium? We want to sample your thoughts and hear your feedback. That question is on social media. You can interact with it. You can also X us at Citizen TV Kenya, at Isaac Swila, at Zita Jimoi. We are going to sample some of them. You can also send your thoughts to 22422. The SMS lines are open. Pastor, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Swila.
You make your bow.
Thank you very much, Asante sana. Yes.
The Ingwe nation must be happy.
The Ingwe nation must be happy. And
Ingwe to the world. Efusi to the world.
Efusi to the world.
What a timing, eh?
What a timing.
What a timing.
On the final day, we are closing the curtains.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very happy.
And of course, Ashel is our lead sports go-to guy on Mulembe FM, hence the Mulembe Nation. Anyway, welcome to the program. The first story, I don't know, what are your thoughts, first of all? There has been a spirited campaign, I think, from all stakeholders. I think here on Sporty Monday, we called for the same. I think Swila's shot detailed that. And you saw the events on Friday at the 62nd celebration of Jamhuri Day. And basically, Governor Sakaja basically led the calls, and this is something that has been building up. We had Governor Wanga of Homa Bay also calling for this, and I think President Ruto basically read the mood and decided, say, once this is complete, we're gonna call it Raila Amolo International Stadium. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, thank you very much, Sila. That is what many fans of football have been waiting to hear. When you talk about Raila Amolo Odinga, you're talking about somebody who loves football, somebody who knows what football is, somebody who has been closer to many people who know who loves football. And it is not just about football. It shows the country, or rather the government, is ready to give such like people an opportunity to be named to be given names in such stadiums like Talanta City Stadium to be Raila Amolo Odinga Stadium. It is not something that has just come today. It is not something that just come yesterday. Umesikia Sakaja akizungumzia hiki kitu kutoka kitambo sana. Hata Gladys Wanga amesukuma hiki kitu kutoka kitambo sana. So Raila kupewa uwanja wa Talanta City Stadium, it also gives the government the image that they are also supporting democracy, like somebody who has fought for democracy for a very, very long time in the name of Raila Odinga, and is somebody who resonates well with the fans and the people of the nation Kenya. And also in future, wakati watoto wetu watakuwa wanakuja, wakati kizazi cha ambacho kiko nyuma yetu kitakuwa kinakuja, when they go to Raila Odinga International Stadium, they'll be asking themselves, who is this Raila? What did Raila do to this country? And therefore, from that perspective, from that picture, it will tell a lot to them.
Kevin, is this long overdue? I think we have a facility in Homa Bay named after Raila Odinga. We also have Raila Odinga Way, I think previously Mbagathi Road. So but basically there has been called, we need to name a major infrastructural projects after him.
It was long overdue, and what an honor, what a glowing tribute to know. I hope it remains Raila Amolo International Stadium. Rise. It is an honor to the fallen legend, because Raila Odinga loved football. He was always watching football. He has been a patron of Gor Mahia for such a long time. He has helped many in sports. When he died, you saw the glowing tributes of different players who were saying how Raila helped them in sports when they had nothing to show. And it is an honor for such a legend. We've seen people like the greats like Nelson Mandela being stadiums named after them. So it's an honor for the greatest political figure in the country to be given such an honor. Raila Odinga Stadium in Homa Bay, yes, it was also named after him, but you know, it is still quite a small stadium, not to the international level, unless they could upgrade it to the international to the international status. That is when maybe they could name it officially, and maybe let Talanta Sports City Center remain with that name. But taking that name to Talanta, which is going to be of international status, is such a great honor to Raila Odinga.
Ziti, even as we try to come to terms or analyze the developments, in Nandi County, something interesting happened last week. We had Nandi governor come out and say, now the Kipchoge Keino Stadium, which actually its construction has stalled over the years, will now be renamed from Kipchoge Keino to William Ruto Stadium. And this brought a lot of heat, a lot of anger on social media.
You know, Kipchoge is a legend and is a big name in Nandi. I don't know what came to my governor. Actually, it's my governor.
Yeah, actually, it's your home county.
Yes, it's my home county. But again, I'm not going to ramp his name off. I hope the stadium that he's saying is going to be named Ruto International, like President Ruto International Stadium. I hope it's going to be in the standards. Let me borrow Shitera's words. I hope it's not going to be the training grounds that we always see that the county government calling them the international stadium. For example, let's say for the Kisumu one, the Kisumu International Stadium that now ni kama ng'ombe zinaendaga kukula hapo. So let's hope he's going to build something big, and I hope it's going to be for the indoor games, because we are really lacking in Kenya where indoor games that are supposed to be trained. Let's talk about you know, a lot of we have done a lot of in the games that are not indoor. But now we don't have a stadium for indoor. So I hope he's going to do something big, as much as he has changed the name from the legend to the president. So that is one thing that I will ask. I hope it's not going to be like a training ground that you're naming it to President Ruto's ground. I hope it's going to be an international stadium, the way he has said it's going to be an international stadium.
But the elephant in the room, Kevin, is Kipchoge is a legend in this country. Actually, not just a national legend, this is international legend.
Actually,
why take the honors away from Kipchoge and rename the facility after President Ruto? Would it not be prudent to keep the legacy of Kipchoge alive, have him bear that name, build this facility to international standards, and probably, I don't really think we have enough stadium in Kenya. Maybe President Ruto's regime could think of building another facility that meets the international parameters and maybe naming after William Ruto.
Or the highway that is building, actually, the Nakuru highway, can name it after him, but instead of changing the stadium.
Actually, it's a bad decision, and I'm not a fan of that decision made by Governor of Nandi, Stephen Sang. Actually, it is just recently the facility wanted to be turned into a market, into a marketplace. So my advice to Zita is not to get her hopes too high at that facility. There is another one in Eldoret which has stalled for many years, for also many years. So I think our legends in sports have not been honored enough. Even in football, we've had the likes of Akina Joka Denge. You know, Joka Denge in Vihiga, there is just a small sports academy which is not even well built. But when you see people being named after stadia, yet our big legends in sports have not been named after stadia, it is also not really wise, and we are not moving in a good direction as a country.
I think I'll also support what my brother Odinga is saying, because when you rename such a stadium as William Ruto Stadium, someone will ask you, what has William Ruto done to the country in terms of sports? Because when you are supposed to give, or when you are giving a stadium a certain name, it also should come with some reasons why you are giving such a name to such a person. Because when behind the naming, there must be something that this person has done to be given.
To talk about
and actually,
in sports,
what like I probably want to bring to the fore, Governor Sakaja led the calls, but the problem I have with Governor Sakaja's administration, the Nairobi City Stadium is in deplorable condition.
The county stadium.
That facility actually falls under his doorstep. He takes the blame because of the deplorable condition it is in. Some time back, I think he told us, we are renaming this facility after Joka Denge.
Yes.
But it's not just those pronouncements. The state of facilities is actually a crying shame. It's a national shame for that matter. City Stadium is one of the oldest sports facilities we have in the country. But right now, it's not even hosting league matches. That used to be the home stadium for Gor Mahia, KCB, and several other top-tier teams. But right now, it's usable. So I think probably the Nairobi County government under Governor Sakaja, that's where they should have started. He should have told, look, I've refurbished this facility to international level. I've gotten rid of the hawkers. It's not an ISO. And in honor of Joka Denge, Kenya's most revered footballer, we are naming this facility after him. I think if you'd have done that, even the calls to Ruto to name this after Raila would have made more sense.
Even the Kibera Stadium,
the
Woodley Stadium, whereby it was a home ground of many teams, that is from Kawangware and even Kibera, that are playing in NSL. Even Black Stars, it was the home ground. But now the teams has to pay more money to play outside someone else. Actually, they used to play at not Ligindogo. The stadium that imeharibika saizi ile ya Islando. Which one is that?
That's Camp Toyoyo.
Camp Toyoyo. They used to play at Camp Toyoyo because now Camp Toyoyo, someone cannot play there. Ukienda hapo utapata injury. So as per now, the county government stadiums need to be done something, because at the end of it, we are lacking stadiums for the teams to play. For now, Dandora, all the teams don't want to play in Dandora because of the surface. We are building these stadiums again, and then by building them, we are not even keeping them
maintenance
is an issue. Look at Nyayo Stadium as per now. The way the game Gor Mahia against FC Leopards, kiwanja hata ni kama iliekwa maji lini, ilikuwa imekauka. Are we doing this only when the Chan was here, whereby maji ilikuwa inamwagwa kila mara, maintenance was there every time? Not even Nyayo, even Kasarani now, maji inekwa after Sangati. Yes, maintenance is an issue to all these stadiums that happen.
Sila, I will always quote the words of the former midfield maestro Charles Okwemba, who says every time, sports and football has no shortcut. We have to build structures, we have to put structures in place if we want to go far as a country. Absolutely. But if we continue with the same mentality, we are going nowhere. Actually, we are going nowhere. So we have to really improve our facilities. We have to do our legends justice. When I was growing up, Kamtoyoyo and City Stadium were like the backbone of football in this country. And to see them in such status, it is really
and that is
a big
the core of where people love football.
Sila, the unavailability of City Stadium today is the reason why we have been postponing the Mashemeji Derby year in, year out, and such a thing is not supposed to happen even in the country today. And in fact, the naming of the proposal to name Talanta City Stadium to be Raila or Amolo Odinga International Stadium, it should come from the president himself, not the governor or rather the Kenyans.